You're so hot. Why don't you act like it? You're so hot, I wish you would start acting like it. You're so hot, I wish you would start moving in the world as if you're so hot, as if everyone else sees your beauty and not just you. And if you don't see your beauty, well then you're in the right place, Angel, because this is just for you. As someone who grew up getting bullied for how petite and skinny they are, for the color of their skin, for being darker. As someone who grew up for talking white, I've really grown into who I am. And now, did it come from some external validation? Of course, yes it did. Just now, I'd say now and maybe 2 years or so, by the time I turned 20, I really started understanding how beautiful I was. And a lot of it was coming from people who were telling me that I'm beautiful. Being at work and being the girl that people call out to say, hey, you are so beautiful. And I really hope you see your beauty. I really hope you do something. Asking, are you a model? Time and time again, which I'm not yet. On the surface level, yeah, it kind of sounds like, okay, this is a bit much. Like, it sounds surface level. But it really did help from someone who hated themselves. I hated my skin. I hated how dark I was for the longest time. Now we're getting into it. I really hated it. I wanted to be like my sister and my mom, who were much lighter than me. I thought being red bone was the way to go, that just because I have pretty features, just because I have a pretty face, just because I have pretty hair, it all cancels out because I'm darker than them. And I really thought that, oh my God, I really can't be who I want to be. I can't be the model because I'm too short. You know, despite everything else that I had, that I was skinny and I was pretty and I had a lot of things going for me, I thought, you can't be this because you're too short, you can't be this because you're too dark. I really carried that with me. And it's not to say that it's still not a fight, because I will say there are times where I still do struggle with wanting and comparing myself to other girls who look different than me. But the more I got older and the more I realized that differences are good. You don't want to look like everyone else. And the one thing that makes me stand apart is not just being petite and being small. When a lot of guys growing up, I don't think like that. I think they wanted a really thick and voluminous girl. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because those girls out there are beautiful. But I really had to love who I was. I had to come to love, despite all the backhand compliments and all the backhand comments of, oh yeah, you're pretty for a black girl, pretty for a dark girl, pretty for a skinny girl. Even these really weird backhand compliments that I received, I had to grow to love myself, because I didn't want to be compared to any other girl. I didn't want to walk into the room and be like, okay, well, how can I look like her? How can I look like her? How can I match my hair up like her? How can I talk like her? How can I get my body to look like hers? I was just so tired of doing that. And through my years of growing up, through middle school and high school, getting bullied, I really struggled. I struggled with really loving who I was. And that wasn't until recent years of growing into my character. It honestly wasn't until I built up my inner self, I built up my communication, and now that's one of the things I'm known for. I'm known for how I speak to people, how I connect with people, how you can literally be a stranger on the street, but I'm gonna treat you as if you're my friend. I built that up about me. I started putting more into who I thought I was, getting rid of all of the negative talk and who people wanted me to be or how people viewed me. I started asking myself, how do I view myself? You know? And when this happened, a lot changed. A lot changed for me. I started to care more about what I think more than what others think. I started to say, do I like my hair like this? Yeah, I know I'm a black girl who straightens her hair, but do I like it more? And if I do, then I'm gonna keep doing what I wanna do. And I'm not gonna care about what other people have to say. Yes, I am a black girl, and I know it's like black women have to fit into this mold in today's society of being thick and looking a certain way. I never grew up like that. I literally got bullied for being skinny. I was never going to achieve that. My mom just started picking up weight when she got into her 50s. So obviously that's what's gonna happen to me, but it's gonna be 30 years down the line. So am I not gonna accept myself now? Just because the men that I thought would like me didn't turn out to necessarily like my color or like the body that I was in, like how thin I was in. No, I said I'm gonna go find a man that's gonna like me for me. And that happens all the time. And now I meet the people that actually really care about me for me, appreciate me for me, and really like my features. You have to go where you're liked, not where you're unwanted. I'm not gonna go to a place where I know they really don't care for me, or I'm gonna be treated like a second-class citizen or an outcast. I'm not gonna go to places like that where I know I'm not treasured. I'm only gonna go to the places where I know I'm wanted. But at the end of the day, I had to start believing that I was hot. I had to start believing that everything on my face is just fine the way it is. Someone out there is going to want to say, hey, I want to hire this girl to model for me because I think she's stunning. And all you need is one person to believe that. But before you even need someone else to believe it, you need to believe it yourself. The beauty that people are seeing, I guarantee they wouldn't see that as much if I didn't believe it first. If I didn't have inner beauty, if I didn't work on other things like my communication, if I didn't work on my intelligence, if I didn't work on being personable in customer service and things of that nature. If none of that were also part of me, I would just be a pretty face. And fortunately, that's not true because I'm much more than that. But use it. Use what you have to your advantage because you are hot in your unique way. You may not look like the next person. You may not look like the next girl, but you look like you. And there's something about you that people love. And yeah, there are things that try to stop me. I don't like everything about my body. And, you know, we can try to cover things up as much as we want for the camera or for people. But at the end of the day, why not just accept who you are? In a world so full of looking like everybody else and wanting to fit into this mold of who you should look like, I push back on that so much because I've had so many times to try to change who I am, to change the way I look, change the way I talk, change the way I act around people. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Because the one thing that people say when I walk into a room is my confidence exudes, and you can see that I'm being my authentic self. And I really try to push out through these videos because there are so many people that I look up to on YouTube, and I'm like, okay, well, I kind of want to do it like this, like her. And no, I have to be myself. And if I keep saying to myself, well, I don't want to do this video anymore because I don't like the way I'm presenting, then that shows that I don't like myself. And that's not okay. I mean, that sounds really bad. And yes, I ask myself these things too because I also have the same thoughts of, do I really want to put this out despite how I feel? But I have to grow to love myself, and I have grown to love myself. So with baby steps, you'll start to say, wow, I really am hot, I really am attractive, and I really could be producing for the world around me because there are other girls like me who want to be models, who want to be influencers, who are middle class, who want to have this affluent life of not only believing in themselves, but other people seeing their value out there.